what's up? This is JM, host of the Celebrity Grill podcast on iTunes, and you're listening to the Barbecue Central Radio Network. All barbecue and grilling, all the time.
Let's go!
We'll do it live. Okay. Well, do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
So to get that perfect barbecue, you use wood. Are you sure it's safe? Whatever. We put the lighter fluid on, strike the match, and... Oh! Should we call the fire department? That might be a good idea.
Hey, good evening, and welcome to the Really Big Barbecue Central Show. This is a show that talks about all things that are important to the world of barbecue and grilling, originating from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city of Cleveland, Ohio, the barbecue capital of the North Coast. I'm your program host, Greg Rempe. Happy to have you aboard here on your Tuesday evening live fire fun and frivolous show. If you want to jump in on the show tonight, whether it be a phone call or an email, happy to have you do it. And here's your info.
You can get in touch with the show by calling 216-220-0966. Email Greg at the BBQCentralShow.com. On the Twitter and Instagrams at BBQ Central Show.
Anything else you want to find out about the show can be found at the main website, thebbqcentralshow.com. And here's what's happening coming up in about 12 minutes from now. It's the first Tuesday of a month, that being April, as we enter in Q2 of 2021. And that means a regular visit from our first of two recurring guests on the first Tuesday of each month, that being the pitmaster of Killer Hogs Barbecue Team and the co-creator of How to Barbecue Right, Malcolm Reed, will join me. Now, it has been reminded to me, I think that is completely incorrect English. Nevertheless, I'm sticking with it. I have been reminded that last month, during our segment, I might have just tossed out the fact that we should have a Reaper Jerky Challenge on this show next month, which is now this month. Lo and behold, a package of Malcolm's finest Reaper Jerky shows up to the house. A few days later, I should have known right then that I fell for the, hey, my Reaper Jerky's got flavor, immediately ships it out. And now I have been put to the test because last month I said that I would spend the entirety of the segment with Malcolm in April, which is where we sit today, eating Malcolm Reed's jerky. The Fear the Reaper Jerky, and as a disclaimer in the tag, try at your own risk. That's not making me very excited. It's making me very scared. Less excited, as Guy the Cooking Sam says in the YouTube chat, Reaper toilet time in the morn. No. Or as Malcolm said in his podcast earlier last week, it'll get you 2 times, if you know what I mean. So we have Malcolm Reed coming up shortly. Reaper Jerky time. We'll also be talking about Great American Hamburgers and burger processes. We'll also be talking about the fundraiser that he and Rochelle and the folks over at How to Barbecue Right are taking part in to benefit Palmer Home, and we'll talk about that. We will bring up my standing offer as far as to benefit that endeavor as well. So plenty to get to with Malcolm. Then we'll move to 35 past the hour. First-time guest. He is the host of his own barbecue podcast, but there's also something else mixed into that podcast, a little thing that just started over the weekend, a little thing called baseball, everybody. Len Aberman, co-host, I would imagine, co-creator of the Baseball and Barbecue podcast. So we'll talk to Len about how he got into the whole show business, get a little background about him. He's a New York City guy. And then we'll talk about his love of live fire, how the two meld together when he started the show, what you can expect as a potential listener. And we'll talk about some of his favorite guests that he's had on. They're doing it a number of years now. So Len Aberman will help me close out the first hour, then we'll move to the second, which you will find the second of two regular guests on the first Tuesday of every month. That, of course, show favorite Sam the Cooking Guy will join me. Boy, oh boy, are we going to have a number of different topics, not the least of which is a correction on my part as I was careless, dare I say reckless with the English language a month ago when we were talking about pastrami specifically and Katz's Deli, and I will leave it at that. But we will also talk about burgers with Sam. He had just made a Juicy Lucy burger, so if that's a bit of foreshadow for you, if you can't figure out where that leads from there, I feel bad for you. But we will be talking about Juicy Lucy. We'll be talking about two different items in your mind, but making a video to become one item that may shock the very foundations of your starchy buildings that you have come to know and love. Hopefully I've done a good enough job teasing that. And then your phone calls and emails where we see fit. 216-220-0966, Greg at the BBQ centralshow.com. Malcolm Reed in just a few moments. Len Aberman after Malcolm. Sam the Cooking Guy for the balance of the second hour. Don't forget you can follow me socially at Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Snapchat at BBQ Central Show. You can also find video feeds of the show every Tuesday and then archive directly after on Facebook and Twitch /BBQ Central Show. Also on YouTube, which can be found /RD Rempe. As a last follow-up on this matter, because I led with it last week regarding the winners of the Kosmo's Q Wing Dust, the week prior to that, because it took me a week to get out into the mail, all of the Wing Dust winners should be receiving their Wing Dust shortly. In fact, Brian Ashman just confirmed that he got his dust in the mail today, so that leaves 3 other winners. So be on the lookout. They hit the mail last Wednesday, and I look forward to your feedback. Please don't forget to try it on everything, including chicken wings. And then give me your honest feedback, what you think about the wing dust. You're not hurting my feelings. Kosmo let me give it away. I gave it away. We want your honest feedback. That's what makes everything better. Now, don't take a dump on it just to take a dump on it. However, your honest feedback and candor is appreciated. I'm speaking for Kosmo to that extent as well. Some listener feedback from the show last week and in week past. John in Boston writes, Greg, big fan of the show. You might think I am writing to bust your balls. Oh, boy. You might think I'm writing to bust your balls about Sandy's mic crapping out again in successive weeks, but I'm not going to do that. What, you're not?
Andrew, you are not.
I am not going to do that. Well, thank you. Instead, I'm going to say how professional you were in making the transition from mic to phone last week. Sandy's info and willingness to share far outweighed any sound changes between the two devices. John, thank you for writing in. And glad that you found her continuance of segments to be worthwhile and that I don't know what's going on with the mic there. I mean, for 7 minutes, few sound better than she does. I mean, that microphone is dynamic, but something happens to it 7 minutes in and only during the hours of 9 to 11 Eastern, because we sound checked for 15 minutes earlier in the day that Tuesday last week with no issue. So it is beyond reason of what's going on, but I appreciate you writing in, John. Nate in Missouri writes, Greg, I live in Missouri, and I do not...
Andrew, you are not the father.
I do not camp in the left lane on the highway as you ranted about last week, top of the second hour. We don't all do that. Thank you very much, Nate. Thank you very much for listening to the show and taking me to task on, pardon me, the truth that people in Missouri and Illinois are camping out in the left-hand lane on the highway like it's their job. Greg in Virginia writes, Greg, great first name, by the way. I felt inspired to write in after hearing the top of the second hour. There's nothing more frustrating than dopes driving in the hammer lane when no one is in front of them and there is a line of cars behind them. What is wrong with people? By the way, it happens in Virginia too, not just Missouri and Illinois. Keep up the great work. Love the new music intro. Thank you, Greg. I went back to the old music this week because for 2 weeks, I think maybe it was even 3 weeks, I did new intro music. I don't even think I got one email. So people aren't as keen on the intro music as I thought. I thought there was going to be a lot of back and forth on that. But in the end, it's all about show content. Who cares about what music I'm talking over in the beginning of the show or if it's motivating you or not, whatever. As far as I'm concerned, you liked it just as much as the intro that I've been playing for the last 13 years. Dan says Monday was National Deep Dish Pizza Day. I'm not a fan of deep dish pizza. I think it's gross. Not as gross as onions. But if given the choice between any other kind of pizza and deep dish, I will take any other kind of pizza, including vegan pizza. I don't like deep dish. Not me. We'll get Malcolm's take when he comes up here in just a few minutes. Let me talk to you quickly about Green Mountain Grill, some of the best pellet cookers out there on the market today. You can choose between two different lines. There's a prime line. There is a choice line. It's up to you. If you want to live without some of the tech that you're finding on each and every pellet cooker these days, the Wi-Fi capability, the app integration, internal meat probes, things like this, get the choice line. Save yourself a couple $100. It's fine. Same capacity with a Jim Bowie and a Daniel Boone on the choice side as you would get on the prime side. Just a little bit of the tech left out, but you don't need it. You're a big boy. Now, if you want to spend a couple $100 extra, you get the Prime Plus line. That's what I'm talking about. More of a robust build on the chassis, peak-in windows in the main cooking chamber and pellet hopper. 2 internal meat probes, Wi-Fi technology, app integration. Yes. You can control the cooker right from your chaise lounge. Is that a thing still? Your Barker Lounger. You can increase the temperature of the pit. If things are cooking too quickly, you can ramp the temperature down. You can put integrated cooking steps. Once it hits this type of internal temperature, automatically ramp the cooker up or down for this long of a time. You can get really invested in this thing. That's the technology and the offerings Green Mountain Grill giving you. The Jim Bowie and the Daniel Boone, regardless of choice or prime, both accommodate that pizza oven insert. Plus, they have rubs and sauces and pellets and all the other accoutrements to complete your Green Mountain grilling experience. So please, they sell through dealers. Find one near you, greenmountaingrills.com, greenmountaingrills.com, and then experience a Green Mountain Grill dealer education in your neighborhood or at least close to you. greenmountaingrills.com. We're back with Malcolm Reed right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back. Whoa.
Broadcasting live from the BBQ Central Show studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the BBQ Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
Hey, welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by the BBQ Guru, creators of automatic pit temperature control technology, sellers of ceramic cookers with built-in power draft fans, accessories to make your barbecue and grilling life easier. Visit bbqguru.com for more information or call them at 800-288-GURU. The BBQ Guru continuing to be a breakthrough in barbecue technology. All right, it is the first Tuesday of the month in the first hour, and you know what that means. It can only mean a visit from the How to BBQ Right creator himself and pitmaster of Killer Hogs, Malcolm Reed. Hey, Malcolm.
What's happening, Greg? How are you, man?
I am, I'm scared. Let's be honest. I'm very scared, as I had mentioned in the open, and sometimes you get in the live show, you get to gabbing, you're not listening to what you're saying. And all of a sudden, you realize you've committed to eating a bag of Reaper jerky, courtesy of Malcolm Reed. I should have known something was amiss when we were talking about heat and flavor and all. Then you're like, oh, yeah, well, my Reaper jerky tastes good. It's got good flavor. And I don't know if that somehow registered in my brain to mean that it wouldn't be really hot. And then as soon as I got that shipment notice, like 4 hours later, as soon as we got off air, I was like, uh-oh. This guy's for real, and here we are, ready to have at it. So, what should I be looking for as we tear open it here?
Well,
all right, so now we've got it.
So I'm going to tell you, Greg.
Should be wearing gloves?
Now I've had a few people tell me this is the hottest thing they've ever ate in their life. Now, I'm not a spice guy at all.
Oh,
so
dear.
I think it's pretty daggum hot. But then I've had some people come in the shop and eat the whole bag right in front of me, and I'm pretty sure they had COVID. I don't know how they did it, but I'm going to say it's warm. It's going to taste really good when you eat it. I mean, it's a really, it's kind of got a sweetness to it. You're going to get some of the spice, but it's got a really great jerky flavor. And then after you swallow it, the heat's going to start building, and it's not going to stop for a little while.
All right.
The challenge was, now I don't expect you to do this. I don't want to ruin the show tonight. We depend on you to put together a good show for us tonight. So don't eat the whole bag. But if you want to give it a fair shake, go ahead and just get you a piece of it.
All right.
And tell me, I want your initial thoughts, and I want you to tell me where the heat goes.
All right, so I just opened it. And
go ahead and smell it. How does it smell?
Wow.
How does it smell? That's plenty. If you eat that whole, that's plenty.
Okay, so on the nose, as we say here in the wine world. By the way, let me go ahead and show. So, I mean, this is no joke. Like, this is, you can see
there's some peppers there.
Yeah, you can see the peppers right there. I didn't pre-open the bag and switch it out or anything. By the way, I mean, this is very tender to the hand feel. The meat's very tender in my hands, everybody. And but yeah, I mean, it is laced with pepper. It's got a very nice nose. I want to say almost a little bit of an Asian flair to it.
You're going to get that, a little bit of teriyaki, a little bit of the brown,
yes.
The brown sugar.
Yes.
Brown sugar, Worcestershire, teriyaki flavor with the Reapers in it, and then the sprinkle of the Reaper over it. And that's how we finish it off.
All right, ready?
It's really, yeah, go for it.
Here we go.
Oh, that's a fair bite.
That was about a quarter of the stick here, just so we can.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's what's left. So very tender.
So you shouldn't feel any heat yet.
No,
yeah.
Very tender. Should I be wearing gloves? I better not hit my eye here for the rest of the show.
No, just watch where you put your hands.
All right. Yep. So good flavor. Again, teriyaki, yes.
The Reaper pepper is a sweet pepper until it starts building.
Yes. All right. Well, I mean, we seem to be pretty good right now, so
you're going to be okay for a minute.
Feeling very happy about myself.
Yeah.
However, there is just a small build in the back palate. So that's
where it starts coming. Yeah. That's
I was
where
talking
it comes.
talking and swallowed a piece of the meat right there. So let's let it build. If I pass out, Malcolm, because we are on a solid connection, I will hope that you'll take over the show and do the rest of the interviews. Len Aberman is coming up next. Sam, the cooking guy. You guys would certainly have fun, I'm sure. So let's talk about a huge update, because last week, 2 weeks ago, during the Embedded Correspondence segment, we were making predictions, as we like to do, Doug Scheiding, John Solberg, Rusty Monson, and I. And the topic of Memphis in May came up. And Rusty, ever the optimist, said that absolutely Memphis in May would happen. I believe John was a little bit more tepid on the situation. Doug, I don't recall exactly what he said. Woo, that's catching up on me now. I said 100% Memphis in May would not happen. What does that mean? Literally days later, of course, Memphis in May sends all the packages out and says, come hell or high water, we're going to be having some type of Memphis in May this year. So as somebody who's really invested in Memphis in May as a competition, you like to go for any number of reasons. What can you tell me for an update? And I'm telling you right now, we've easily went from a 1 heat to 5.5 to 6. And I believe it's like we've laced my tongue with gasoline and it's quickly approaching. So tell us about Memphis in May.
So we're I don't know, a little more than 4 weeks out, and we're going full steam ahead. I've been trying to practice some rib recipes, tooling some stuff. We've got everything paid for. We had to buy some extra tickets because what Memphis is doing, they're limiting. It's not really open to the public like it normally is. You have to buy a ticket in advance before you're going to get in. There's not going to be a walk up to the gate and get a ticket. There's only so many people they're going to allow in the park at a given time. Teams are, got the first dibs, and you can only get so many tickets per the size of your spot. They cut our tickets back for our 24-hour passes, was what the teams really rely on. I think we get 15. My size spot does. It's various depending on how much real estate you've purchased for the event, and then we can get so many tickets up to about 30 something a day. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's like 35 minus your allotment for your 24 hours. So you're looking at we can only bring in about 20 extra guests per day. So that's a big cutback when you're looking at Memphis in May, and we have hundreds of people coming booths, and it's big corporate events and parties going on. They're really scaling back. So it's going to be a different Memphis in May, but we're just thrilled that there's going to be a Memphis in May.
Do I remember correctly 2 years ago, before the put off from last year because of coronavirus, that they were moving the whole event into some other park, or were they revamping the park that it's traditionally held in?
Well, that was going to be, they're supposed to be redoing Tomley Park, which is where Memphis in May's been ever since it started. And they're going to do, they're just trying to make it better for people of Memphis. They're trying to make it more. Right now, it's just a flat piece of real estate along the river. So they're wanting to make it to where it's more conducive to people coming and hanging out when there's not festivals. And so they were going to move it. Now, I think they're still going forward with that eventually. But this year we're going to be in the same place. We're just spaced out more. So from a contest side, it should be a better contest because it's going to be more about cooking this year than the party atmosphere. But from the public side, it's probably not going to be as much fun, just because it's scaled back.
Sorry for the delay.
Still going?
I took another bite there. That was probably a very bad idea. Now, from a public standpoint, are you hearing any clamoring from the general public that, hey, we're just going to show up and try and get a ticket or somehow force our way in, or we're not going to be held back, blah, blah, blah? Or what are you hearing in that regard? Because obviously, as you had mentioned, this is an event that attracts hundreds of thousands of people over the course of the week, especially that weekend when the competition happens and so forth. Plus, there's festivals going on and everything. So I'm wondering from a general public standpoint what you're hearing about what they might do.
Well, from what we're doing from our side, we're just spreading the word of you need to go ahead and get a ticket if you plan on coming. We're not getting a bunch of buzz as far as people are planning on going and charging the fence. I haven't heard anything like that. But I would suspect if people are planning, a lot of people plan their vacations or they plan coming to Memphis for Memphis in May, and it's going to be different if you don't plan it ahead and you don't go ahead and get your ticket. I think there's going to be a bunch of upset people. And I think Memphis is doing a great job. They put the word out that you need to go ahead and get them. And I haven't got notice that they've sold out. So hopefully there's still some available.
Can people contact you for tickets, or are you just contacting the people you want to have in camp to partake?
Yeah, we've already allotted all of the ones that we're available. So, 35 tickets is not a lot of tickets for a team for Memphis in May. Not when you think of the core members and then friends and family, you pretty much eat those up every day. And there's no more 3-day passes. You have to buy a ticket for each individual day. So it's going to be, there's going to be people scrambling to try to get, close friends and stuff in. That's what I'm expecting. We're going to do the best we can, but there's no extras.
Have there been people approaching you on the DL saying, hey, Malcolm, how much for a ticket? Can you take it to the scalp market and make a killing? Because that's the first thing that I would do. I'd say, hey, everybody, sorry, it's me and Rochelle and whoever the new sound guy is, a few key social media people, but we're just going to sell all the other tickets for profit. Let's take it right to the bottom line, baby.
I haven't seen that yet, but that was the first thing that come to my mind. This will be the first year we see scalpers outside the gates. Just like any big event, there's going to be scalpers selling day tickets, because anytime you get a limited number of tickets, that's going to happen. I don't think there's a way for Memphis to stop it. They don't stop it for the NBA games or concerts when we have them. So for Memphis in May, I would expect the same thing.
Do have any of those ticketing agencies got a bunch of those tickets somehow?
That I don't know. I would imagine they're selling them through someone like Ticketmaster or something like that. I haven't actually looked, because we're doing it from a team standpoint where we put an order form in. We'll pick them up this Sunday, the 11th, is our team meeting. So I'll have more information on you that next month on how that went.
When is it again?
Sunday. I think it's the 11th is this Sunday, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's team meeting day.
When is the actual event taking place?
It's like the 12th to the 15th, something like that. So we're about just a little over a month out.
All right, so we'll have a follow up with that right before the event hits, and then we'll get the recap in June. Obviously, holy shit, this is hot, really hot. Like my tongue is in pain. Wow, that's really hot. I'm almost done. Though, however, if I go back to the cut here, this is all that's left of that piece. So I've been eating it steadily along. For the people that are listening to podcasts, you can't tell how much I've eaten, but I've eaten a pretty fair size, I would say, here over the last.
Could you do the whole pack?
Fuck no. Hell no. I mean, it's 2.5 ounces according to the pack. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to try and get through this piece here by the end of the segment, but my tongue is in legit pain. Like I just bit down on it for like the last 10 minutes, and that I'm continuing to bite down on it for no good reason other than I'm a glutton for punishment. A little bit of forehead sweat happening here, definitely upper lip sweat, which is a good sign. Somebody in the instant chat said that a delay in the heat means that only the top tier ingredients have been used. So certainly no surprise from the folks over at How to Barbecue Right and making all the prime products over there. So that's the deal on Memphis in May. So we're excited that some semblance of that is going to be taking place. And it's also good to know that I was 100% wrong on my prediction a couple weeks ago during the Embedded Correspondent segment. The other thing that I want to talk about here before we move into some hamburger talk here as we close the segment is the fundraiser that you guys are doing over at How to Barbecue Right, which is benefiting a place called the Palmer Home. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about the idea here, what Palmer Home is, and how we can help.
Well, the Palmer Home it's kind of, I wouldn't call it a charity, but it's an organization here in Hernando that takes care of kids that are in bad situations. They try to place them in a real home environment with a mom and a foster mom and a foster dad. And they bring in kids. They really try to keep them on the right track, and they try to reunite them with their moms and dads when they're in the right situation. So they do a real good job in our local community, state community, and they help all over. And me and Rochelle kind of take it close to heart because it's in our backyard that we're trying to help them raise some money. And the money that we're raising, it actually takes $2,500 per kid per year to house and feed them. And so each home has 8 kids, and that's how we got the $20,000 goal. So we're gonna help one of the homes hopefully raise enough money to pay for those kids so they can have a good year. And that's where that charity come in, and it's something that we really care about since it's in our backyard, and that we decided to get behind, and we try to help the Palmer Home out as well.
All right, so it sounds like a great way to raise some funds and help those families out, help feed those kids for the course of the year. As you said, between 6 to 8 kids in each home, and so that roughly breaks out to about $20,000 for that house full of people. We got about $2,500 right now, so we got one of the kids knocked down for the year, so it's only been up for a couple weeks. Where can people go to read a little bit more about it and then make their donations?
Well, if you go to my Facebook page, you can find information on the Palmer Home event where you can actually donate to the charity, or you can do a fundraiser yourself, or you can go to palmerhome.org too. That they have their own website. But we're also offering for the top 5 people that raise the most money, we're giving a free class, and it's basically going to be you come hang out with me for a day, and we do, we cook all the stuff that I want to cook, and I'm going to show you how I do it, and we're going to have a good time in Hernando. So that's kind of one of the things that we've kind of like got an incentive for people that want to help us raise money or donate. That's what we're going to do. So we're looking forward to that. That's going to be sometime in September, I think.
All right. So we'll look forward to that. Now, as I had mentioned a couple weeks ago, and I want to put it out there again, I think, Malcolm, we have good synergy here where a lot of my fans are your fans, a lot of your fans are my fans. So there's a synergistic situation going on. And I said, you know what? I truly believe that this special VIP class that you're talking about could well be jam-packed with Barbecue Central Show fans, a.k.a. How to Barbecue Right fans, of course, and to encourage us, the Centralites. I said, you know what? The first person to hit me up on DM or email or call my cell phone or whatever, because a lot of people have my phone anyway, and say, you know what, I am going to take you up. I will donate 1,000 of my very own special dollars to support the Palmer Home. The Barbecue Central Show will match that $1,000, and we will do 2,000 right off the bat. It will be one from a listener. I would match that listener. I have to imagine that at least 2/5 of that class would be jam-packed with me and some other Barbecue Central Show people. And I think that there's a real chance that some other folks could come out of the woodwork, and we could have 5 Barbecue Central Show people hanging out with Malcolm Reed in Hernando at How to Barbecue Right HQ. Malcolm's making us some great food. We're all making each other great food. I mean, it could potentially be an earth-shattering event, the likes we have never seen before.
That sounds like a fantastic time. I mean, I would be all about that, Greg. I'd love for you to come, man. That would be great. If you could join us here, and we could plan that, man.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, I mean, whether a Centralite out of the woodwork comes up and steps up with that $1,000, you can guarantee that you're getting $1,000 from the Barbecue Central Show come hell or high water. And but I think it's a great thing that you guys have got behind, and we certainly wanted to throw our support here at the Barbecue Central Show as well. So if you have any questions, go ahead, shoot me an email. I can get you some links if you need them. But again, top 5 donors are going to be taking part in a class that will be hosted by Malcolm Reed. I mean, people pay big money to go and take classes and hang with Malcolm Reed. Here, not only could you potentially be making a decent-sized donation out of the goodness of your heart, but you are then rewarded by hanging out with Malcolm Reed over the course of the weekend. So it's 5 and then a significant other of some sort.
Or, yeah, guest of your choice. It's 2 people, so.
All right, one last question.
We're going to have a lot of fun. We may go to La Siesta and have margaritas the night before.
Oh, look out. I've heard about, maybe we'll go to the old Pizza Hut and do some after-hours WWE wrestling. I mean, who knows?
We may have to break into that. I don't think it's still in business, but we can figure something out.
All right, no doubt about it. First Tuesday of the month, you can find Malcolm Reed right here. I didn't do the whole bag, but I did a strip of the Reaper Jerky, and I will be paying for it over the course of the next 20 minutes or so as I interview Len Aberman. Malcolm, always appreciate the time. We will continue to push the Palmer Home, and we will see you again next month as we lead up to Memphis in May.
Hey, thanks, Greg. I appreciate it. I'll have some more information on that Memphis in May event, so looking forward to it.
All right, sounds good. There he is, Malcolm Reed right there. Our first Tuesday of the month regular guest in the first hour. About $2,500 is in right now. I will match the first Centralite that comes up and says, hey, I will donate $1,000 to the Palmer House. I will also match your $1,000. And I have to admit that I think there's a good shot that you and I will be one of the top 5 donors for the Palmer House. So if you've always wanted to hang out with Malcolm Reed, this is your way to do it, and in a private way. The Palmer Home, yeah. and my palate is wrecked. All I want to do is cry, and I have to interview Len Aberman here in just a moment. Let me talk to you quickly about Primo Cookers. The website primogrill.com. That's primogrill.com. What do we know about Primo, right? It's not round. It's oval. It's different in shape, different by design. Different because it's different. This is the only ceramic cooker that is giving you true two-zone cooking. Now, if you're any type of live fire cooker, you know that two-zone cooking is the way to go. A lot of cookers are evaluated on their ability to create a two-zone cooking environment, and Primo does that without exception. There's 60 different cooking configurations, if you can believe it. You're only limited by your imagination. They make high-quality products made right here in the USA, precision-controlled manufacturing. The highest quality ceramics go into these cookers. You got some new product updates, if I told you about the last couple weeks. There's a new lift hinge that reduces the force to lift the grill head up by 70%. You don't have to be on steroids in order to lift the head anymore. You can be a meager man like me and just whoop, lift it right up. 70% less force. Precision-controlled top and bottom air controlling, allowing for easy and accurate setting of temperatures. You can upgrade your kits at any time. Visit the local dealer to see all the product improvements for yourself. Go to primogrill.com to locate a dealer near you. You can also follow them on some social media channels. Primo Ceramic Grill on Instagram and Primo Ceramic Grills on Facebook. And the website, once again, is primogrill.com. My tongue is swelling in my head. But we will push through as Len Aberman is locked and loaded in the green room. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the #1 most downloaded barbecue and grilling podcast anywhere. The Barbecue Central Show. Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
This portion of the show being brought to you by cookinpellets.com, your #1 source for quality wood pellets for all your pellet-driven cookers. Visit cookinpellets.com for more information or to purchase. You can also visit amazon.com to purchase as well and see all the other products that they're offering. Cookinpellets.com. Hey, did you know that baseball season is now underway? Did you also know that barbecue goes great with baseball? Well, know that my next guest made a podcast that covers both topics, and we are ready to talk about both during this segment. So let's go ahead and race to the hotline as I continue to melt my face off as we welcome first-timer to the show, co-host of Baseball and Barbecue Podcast, Len Aberman. Hey, Len. Len, are you on mute? Hello, Len. No Len. I see his mouth moving, but I don't hear Len. Is it on my end? Let's check. Indeed not. Are you on mute, Len? Do you see the mute button on the microphone? There's one there somewhere. It's not on. Interesting. Why don't you back out and then come back in again? Or disconnect and then reconnect. There's one in every group. Oh. Did this whole thing? This whole thing happen? For some reason, wait a second. Oh, no. My Stream Deck is completely crapped the bed. Oh, well. That is not going to be a fun task for me to fix later. I'll tell you that. Len, I'm going to disconnect you and then reconnect back in. Stand by. There you go. Now he's disconnected. For your listening pleasure, I will play this. This might happen when you connect in too early. You know, I can't really control how soon people connect into the show, but perhaps when there's a lot of connections being made, that there's an issue with that. So hopefully Len will connect in here in just a minute. We'll be able to hear him. Len, are you there? No, not there. What the hell? Hold on, Len. Let's do this. Get your email up. I'm going to send you a different link just for fun. We'll see if that works. Stand by. Copy. Go to Len. There it is. Link. All right, Len, go ahead and check your email. And use that link. I'm going to disconnect you again, if that's all right. And there he goes, once again. Len's out! Get that big stuff out of here. You know what? I'm going to say that this is my fault. I'm going to take the heat on this one. Len and I were sound checking Sunday night, I think it was. That sounds right. It's Tuesday. But he was up in the top floor of his house, far away from the modem, and he was cutting out, and I said, hey. Oh, hold on. Len. No, I still got nothing. Did you unplug that microphone from the computer? Did you check your inputs again? Make sure that the Shure is ready for that? This is very troubling. You know what? To punish myself, I'm going to have another piece of Reaper jerky. Let's see. Oh, thought I heard something there. Yeah, that's still hot. Holy moly. All right, Len, so maybe we should try the phone for a couple minutes, or maybe we should reschedule, or what do you think? Again, I'm going to take full responsibility here. We sound checked. We were at the top floor of your house. We were having some connection issues. You said, I'll move to the basement right by the router, and shame on me. I should have said, you know what? Let's recheck in your location. We would have had this dialed, so that's a shame on me. I did not.
Andrew, you are not.
I did not do my part as a sound engineer to put you in the best spot to succeed. I apologize for that. Much like Andrew was not the father. So, I don't know why we're not getting your sound. So, that is, wait. Hold on. Wait. No, I got that on too. Damn it. Thought I had to figure it out. I'm wondering, can you hear yourself in your ears? Oh, he's disconnected there too now. Oh, dear. I'm going to leave them both up and see which one he's doing now. This has turned into quite a game. If you want to jump, hey, somebody call into the show. I want to see if I had a situation of sound when I reset the computer like I do every freaking week. No sound, Len, unfortunately. But somebody call in. Let me see if I've lost incoming sound for some reason. Although Malcolm Reed was there, so he sounded great. Could my tongue becoming numb to the Reaper jerky? I feel like I could eat the rest of this bag. Do you just have to get used to that initial burn your face off, and then somehow you become immune? I just had a really big piece, and I got to admit, I was in much worse shape on that first piece. Well, although sweat does seem to be wanting to come out of my eyebrows at this point. It is pretty hot. I'll say that. All right, Len, so let's do this. Oh, hold on. Yeah, something might have happened here. Doug. Oh no. Yeah, hold on. Call back in 2 seconds. All right. Settings. Ah, too quick. Doug.
I'm here.
Are you in the middle of a windstorm?
I'm outside.
All right. Well, I must have had some issue with my sound, although I still don't know why Len's sound isn't coming through. It should be
Okay. Yeah.
I can see him.
Too bad.
He looks to be in great spirits. He's holding up a sign that says, "Doug, will you be the third host of Baseball and Barbecue?" Should I tell him yes or no?
He was so looking forward to it.
All right.
Yeah.
Doug, the wind is too much. I got to go, and thank you for calling in.
Audio.
I appreciate it. There's no way I'm putting up with that. That's outrageous. Don't go outside in a windstorm to call in, although I appreciate him taking part. All right, so the phones work. The phones. Yeah, so when we only have a few short moments, it's not even going to be worth it at this point because we have a lot of background. So, are you next week? Can we do next week? Like, can we do next week at 10:14 p.m. Eastern? Can we do that? A lot of people complain that 10 is too late, and unless they're West Coasters or Central Timers, or or the very few percentage of Mountain Standard Timers that are 2 hours back here of East. So 10:14. All right. So go ahead, disconnect, and we will carry on from here. That was almost Len Aberman. However, it was not.
Andrew, you are not the father.
It was not Len Aberman. It was almost Len Aberman. It was not Len Aberman. I'm sorry. Now, what I'm really trying to figure out is, part of me says, I think I can, I think legitimately I can finish this bag of jerky. There's quite a bit of jerky in here left, probably 2 ounces. Oh. By the way, shout out to Malcolm for the shirt. This is my barbecue shirt. I feel almost invited to wear this in the most dirty barbecue situations possible and get it all dirty and icky. Also, the OCD part of me says, I'm only going to wear this shirt on special occasions, and I want it to but I suppose if I get it too ratty, I can just email Malcolm and say, hey, send me another shirt, if you don't mind. I think I am. I think I'm going to pull out another piece. Here we go. Let me find a really good piece here. Oh, yeah. Look at this. So let me get back to the cut. Now, look at that. You see that? It's focusing on me. Oh, almost had it. Oh. Come on. There we go. Holy moly. Look at that. I mean, it just looks hot. All right. Why not? Right? It's tender. It's definitely not juicy because it's jerky. I'm throwing like the little crumbs on the floor in hopes that the cats come by and lick it up. Teach those cats one way or another. Here's another one right here. I mean, look at this. It's just riddled with hotness. Let's go. When I was reading, because I was going to cheat, right? Let me rephrase that. I wasn't going to cheat. But I immediately went on Google once I got the package sent to me. Because I was like, why the hell did he send me Reaper jerky? And then I heard it on the podcast, and I was like, oh, shit. So I immediately went up and said, hey, Google, how do I cure the heat from the Carolina Reaper pepper? Google laughed at me. Dear Google, how do you cure the heat? The capsaicin, is that what it's called? It makes it hot. Does not get cured off by milk or dairy. It'll take the edge off, but it will not take the pain away. And it will take the edge off like for a brief moment, and then the heat will build back. So, and then it said something about, don't eat it on an empty stomach. Now, when I say this is talking about, eating the actual Reaper pepper. So, it said don't eat a Reaper pepper on an empty stomach. Your stomach will cramp and wrench because of the pain. But I'm feeling pretty good. Gotta be honest. I think I'm down like 3 pieces now. I am feeling pretty manly. Also stupid that I'm continuing to eat this because I'm worried at like 3 o'clock in the morning, one of us listening or hosting the show is going to be waking up in the middle of the night wishing he didn't do this. That one was hot. This one is hot. Woo! Yeah, maybe I could have spaced it out a little bit. That's all right. No problem. Get a little sip of water. Oh, Nelly. That one was riddled. All right, so what did we learn this segment? No Len Aberman. Doug Scheiding is in Texas and called into the show to check the phone lines, which I corrected in the middle of a tornado. I'm continuing to eat the Reaper jerky against better judgment, and I could have explosive diarrhea at some point in the middle of the night. And we're continuing on with the show. Why not? Holy F, that was hot. It's rebuilding. I think it took a lunch break. It's rebuilding. Let me talk to you quickly about Big Papa Smokers, the one-stop online shop for all things barbecue. Their curated selection of only the best outdoor cooking and grilling supplies will get you on the path to better barbecue results in no time. Woo! Everything at BigPapaSmokers.com has been Pitmaster approved by Sterling Big Papa Ball himself. From the award-winning rubs and sauces to the American-made grills and smokers, Big Papa has something for every type of outdoor cook. You know him for the rubs and seasonings, 13 perfectly balanced flavors to impress judges and friends alike. Big Papa's award-winning rubs and seasonings just don't disappoint. Available over at BigPapaSmokers.com. Also, the owner of Granny's Barbecue Sauce. If you're looking for a new go-to sauce that will please everybody, Granny's traditionally had powerful flavors remind us why we fell in love with barbecue in the first place. They're also selling grills. If you want a great pellet cooker, look at the Mac 2-Star General Pellet Cooker. If you want a charcoal cooker, do the Old Hickory Ace BP. If you have any questions, call them. Call the fire department to throw a hose at my face. 877-828-0727. That's 877-828-0727. Or shop their website at BigPapaSmokers.com. That's BIGPOPPA Smokers.com. If you're just tuning in and you hear my English going crazy, this isn't like one of those sports things happening. Don't tweet, what's wrong with me? I'm not having a stroke. Or anything like that. No. Self-induced. Eating Malcolm Reed's Fear the Reaper jerky. Because why not? Pain is only temporary. Come here, kitty. Lick my fingers. All right, we're back to wrap the first hour right after this. If you want to call in and give me your Carolina Reaper story, I would love to hear it. 216-220-0966. The phone lines are open. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the #1 most downloaded barbecue and grilling podcast anywhere. The BBQ Central Show. Continuing to produce incredibly mediocre content in an exceptionally professional way. You're listening and watching the BBQ Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
Powering through it, because that's what we do. And this segment brought to you by Fireboard 2, Fireboard 2 Drive, and Fireboard 2 Pro. Monitor up to 6 different temperatures simultaneously. You can connect via Wi-Fi for cloud-based monitoring, or connect via the Bluetooth. If you have Alexa or the Google Assistant in your home, you're in luck, because Fireboard is fully integrated with both. Find out more by visiting fireboard.com or call 816-945-2232. That's Fireboard. And that's hot. I think I have to go blow my nose. It wants to run like the 4x4. Well, it's a shame that we couldn't catch up with Len Aberman, the host of Baseball and Barbecue Podcast. We will reset him for next week at 10:14. Meathead will be joining us in the second hour, of course, next Tuesday. It is the second Tuesday of the month, so there'll be Meathead. I can't wait to get his feedback on Robert Moss and his research as far as pastrami is concerned, and how that relates specifically to Katz's Deli not being the oldest. I could have used that sound effect 1,000 times today. Not being the oldest continuously run barbecue joint in the States, as Meathead had contended. So we will catch up with Len Aberman in the second hour. In the meantime, you can visit his website in advance for a sneak peek, especially if you are, I would assume most of you are fans of barbecue. Maybe a lot of you are just fans of me and you're putting up with what I am doing. However, maybe some of you like baseball too. You can visit their website. Baseball and, like the word, bbq.weebly, weebly.com. I'll have to talk to Len about that. But right now it's baseball and bbq.weebly.com. And we will reload Len for next week. It'll be great. You can call in too if you want, 216-220-0966. You can also email the show, Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Guy the Cooking Sam says pantomime, barbecue, and baseball. I love it! I love that. Very good. Very good. The question is, dare I eat more? Yes. What an idiot. And then, for the Sam the Cooking Guy segment, I got this one. I can't wait. There's really not much more left. I could probably eat the whole bag by the end of the hour. I'll tell you what. Somebody comes up with that $1,000 that I will match, by the way. I will eat the rest of this Reaper Jerky bag by the end of the hour. But you got to come strong with 1K. And I got to have some kind of verification. You just can't call in and say you're going to do it. Like, you have to do it, and then I have to get verified from Malcolm or I have to see it up on that board or something. If you come correct, I will come correct as well. All right, refreshed libations. We are heading to the second hour. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show right here on the Barbecue Central Network. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Happy to have you aboard here for the Really Big Barbecue Show.
Boing. We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Hit me!
Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
Boing.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle.
Charbono! It's all about the charbono, dude!
Succulent fish. What?
He ate 54 wieners.
But listen, Lavernius, shut your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
All right, welcome to the second hour, everybody. It's the Barbecue Central Show. We talk about live fire barbecue and grilling topics ad nauseum and also other topics. Sometimes we even put ourselves through pain for no good reason, like by eating Malcolm's killer jerky, the Fear the Reaper.
Hit me!
Which says, Carolina Reaper, try at your own risk. No added MSG. That sucks. As I've said it on a number of occasions here over the last number of weeks, I have been secretly adding MSG to everything I've been cooking in my house. Nobody says anything other than, this tastes pretty good. You do something different to this? It tastes good. Not that it didn't taste good before, but we've elevated it. I've elevated it. MSG has elevated it just a little bit. You do something different? Nope. Tastes good. Thank you. And thank your friend, Mike Sierra Gulf. Still to come on the show this evening is Sam the Cooking Guy for his normal segment. So we look forward to that, of course. And, oh, the hell. There we go. That's a little better. You can follow me socially at BBQ Central Show on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, /BBQ Central Show on Facebook and Twitch for a live video feed. You can also find one over at YouTube /RD Rempe. All video feed platforms are immediately archived after this live show ends in about an hour from now, so you can get it if you're just tuning in. If you missed the whole first hour, you missed Malcolm Reed talk at length about the Memphis in May barbecue tournament or competition or contest or whatever, Memphis in May in general, that is happening. 2 weeks ago when I made the staunch prediction, the stone cold lead pipe lock, take it to the bank, spend all of your $200 on this bet, guarantee that Memphis in May would not,
Andrew, you are not
would not take place this year, and that it would be a wrecking ball of a party in 2022. Minutes after that prediction was made, Memphis in May must have been listening and sent out the packets and said, we're doing it. We're going to clamp down pretty hard, as Malcolm regaled us with the details. And then I was steadily eating a piece of Fear the Reaper jerky. And my face hurt. My tongue hurt really bad. Really bad. And now I believe I've hit some type of a bit of immunity, as it were. And I'm finishing up, I think, my third piece right here. This is the next piece that I'll be eating in the Sam the Cooking Guy segment. And as I had stated on the way out of the first hour, if you're so inclined to jump in and want to see me eat the rest of this bag of jerky. Now, look, I'm not going to go in and dig out all the pepper seeds and all that shit. But finish the bag of jerky. I will do it for your donation of $1,000 that will go to the Palmer home. I will then match that $1,000. There's a really good chance that we'll be hanging out with Malcolm in September or October this year for our private class. I mean, initially it is pretty hot. I got to be honest. Coming up on the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less this Friday. Plus, it's really not polite to eat on mic. It's not polite. It's not funny. It's not fun. Episode 171, taking you back to April 3rd, 2012. At that time, I had a 20-year-old pitmaster of slabs of approval named Brent Richardson. Remember Brent? B-Rent? We talked about his background and what it was like for him growing up in the competition arena. I don't know how far you guys and gals go back or are fans of this show. But Brent's mom is Stephanie Wilson, one of the pitmasters of the Slabs, a ionic barbecue competition cooking team, co-pitmastered by the barbecue pimp himself. Oh, I had it. What's his name? The barbecue pimp himself. I want to say Kevin. I know. Kyle Laval. Look at me coming out of the woodwork. I knew I was going to get there. So in the annals of competition barbecue, one of the most successful competition teams, really successful on the rub side. Everybody loved the Slabs rubs. So that was a environment that he grew up in. We also talked about how at that time, being 9 years ago. He's almost 30. Holy crap. I just did the math in my head quickly. He's 29 years old. Wow. I mean, I got him probably just at 20, and he's getting ready to just turn 30. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, we talked about what it was like then when he was younger, being one of those younger cookers looking to carry on the competition barbecue torch into the future. So if you don't know Brent or his story, you'll enjoy the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less coming up in the podcast feed this Friday. Don't forget you can email John with your requests if you would like, JON@thebbqcentralshow.com. I'm sure he'll give you a shout out in the open too. Email from a listener named Yitzy. I'm not kidding. Yitzy. Hi, Greg. I finally had time to send a long email thanks to my workmate sharing COVID with me. That's not good. Sorry, Yitzy. First of all, regarding the best moments of 2020, in my opinion, we're going back a little bit here. In my opinion, many of them were, in fact, elevated to the level of best moments because of how you reacted. For example, if during the pineapple fiasco of 2020, you had just moved on without reacting to Meathead saying that pineapple was the best thing ever to come off a grill, it wouldn't be much of a soundbite. However, your emotional pushback framed it into what it became. I just thought credit should be given where it's due. I also enjoyed the 2020 Year in Review show because I was able to hear a quick summary of the 20 to 25% of the episodes that I didn't get around to listening. What? You didn't listen to 100% of the episodes, Yitzy? I will remain unoffended. Here's a topic idea. Might be an interesting interview now that you've covered the bad Jews, to check out an interview with a good Jew. And perhaps share it with Sam, the cooking guy, who incorrectly called Hasidic Jews a cult on your show recently. The pitmaster that I linked to the YouTube video above is actually Hasidic. In general, kosher is an interesting topic, but kosher barbecue all the more so. Thank you, and thanks for a great show. Yitzy in New Jersey. Thank you, Yitzy. I thank you. You know, I agree. I've done a few shows in years gone by. For some reason, I don't know why this sticks in my head, but I did a show, a live segment with Dan Uladol. I don't know if you guys remember him or not. But he was he's the creator of the Chops Power Injector, longtime sponsor of the show. And he was really big on doing the kosher barbecue events. So obviously there was no pork. And I don't know if Dan did that because he was a terrible pork cook and decided to find a niche competition where pork wasn't part of the evaluation process. I'm merely making a speculatory statement there. And that his beef was on point. No pun intended, beef and point. But he loved the kosher barbecue competition. So yes, I would agree. Maybe it is time, since we have interviewed the bad Jew, that we go ahead and interview the good Jew on the show. And I am endlessly fascinated with kosher, keeping a kosher house. I have friends of mine that are kosher practicing, and they have 2 sets of everything in the house. Very fascinating. I love it. So Yitzi, good stuff. I will chase down the guy that you link into the description there, and we'll see if I can't wrangle him up for an interview. I tell you who I didn't wrangle up for an interview. The horse meat guy. The avenging angel of horse meat there in southern Florida. He didn't get a hold of me. Let me talk to you quickly about the guy who was a part of the dust giveaway, that being Kosmo's Q. That's right, based out of Oklahoma. Kosmo's Q has been providing both backyard and competition cooks world championship level rub sauces, injection soaks, marinades, and brines, and of course that exclusive wing dust, which is also available on the market right now. Best of all, every one of their products is made right here in the USA with all natural ingredients. Kosmo's Q continuing to break new ground in the rub seasoning sauces injection world. The results not only proven on the competition trail each and every year, but also proven in the backyards as well. More and more backyard warriors looking to take the game to the next level. No better or easier way to do that than by picking world championship quality rubs, sauces, injections, and marinades. That's exactly what Kosmo's Q brings to the table. Not only the barbecue game being covered, but the whole line of products to help amp up that grilling game as well. By the way, Kosmo's knows a thing or two about grilling. After all, he is a world championship steak cook. That's right. Now, you want to forego all the yickety yak and just go over to the website? Go ahead. Kosmos with a K, then the letter Q, then .com. KosmosQ.com. When you're checking out, use promo code SPRINGBBQ10. 10. All one word, uppercase. SPRINGBBQ10. Some of you might say capitalized. Whatever, I say uppercase. I mean, you say lowercase when it's not capitalized. Can I say not capitalized? Capitalized? Uppercase? Spring BBQ 10. That's Spring BBQ 10. Save 10% off your entire order when you go to Kosmos with a K, then the letter Q, and then the .com. Spring BBQ 10. Tell them I sent you. All I know is saying the cooking guy is next, for crying out loud.
You're listening to the #1 most downloaded barbecue and grilling podcast anywhere. The Barbecue Central Show. Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
And this portion of the show being brought to you by Pit Barrel Cooker, the most unbelievable outdoor cooking device on the planet, currently available in 2 sizes with a host of accessories. Whether you are a beginner or you are a professional, it's a cooker you want to add to the arsenal no matter what. Visit pitbarrelcooker.com and tell Noah or Amber that the Barbecue Central Show sent you. Hey, my next guest you can find right here in the second hour each and every first Tuesday of the month. And he is also blowing it up on YouTube 3 days per week with great cooking videos. We race to the hotline and welcome back Sam the Cooking Guy. Hey, Sam.
Greg, how are you, my man?
I'm great, and thank goodness that I can hear you because I tried to get the host of baseball and barbecue on. Oh. Of course, you know him, Len Aberman. Everybody knows Len, of course, from Long Island. We had no audio. He has the same microphone as you. I mean, he's not nearly as handsome as you are, but I mean, few are.
No, he couldn't be.
Well, we sound checked ad nauseum on Sunday night. This is where I am taking full responsibility, by the way. And I noticed we were not clicking, but like he had a choppy connection here and there. And I said, are you on Wi-Fi? He confirmed that. And I said, are you far away from the modem? He said the modem was in the basement. He's upstairs. We have multi-level homes here near the East Coast. And I said, well, you're either going to have to use a hard wire or you're going to have to go closer to the modem because there's no way I'm going to be able to live with this. And he said, okay, I'll set up right in the basement. Now, the folly of my way was that I did not retest again. He said I would just be there Tuesday.
Okay, no, it's not. Okay, just let me say, it's not your fault.
It's my fault. I told him to leave, and then I didn't retest. That's totally.
I blame him.
Let's blame Len. You're right. Len, forget about it. You're not on next week. You're off the show indefinitely until I feel like I need to bring you back on.
Look, here's the deal. All he did was he unplugged his shit, carried it 2-3 floors to the basement, and set up beside the furnace or the boiler or whatever the hell you guys have.
Yeah.
He plugged all this crap back in, and he did something wrong. He probably took something out of his computer and then went, oh, God, what slot did that go in? I'll just...
He's got the USB port plugged into the HDMI port. Doesn't even know about it. Unbelievable. Come on, Len. What are you doing?
Good Lord.
Look, we got plenty to talk about here this evening, not the least of which is a congratulations of almost 2.7 million YouTube subscribers as we sit here in the beginning of April 2021. You are continuing to grow subscribers at breakneck speed. As I was coming into the...
YouTube dominance.
Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say that between...
Really,
well, look,
it feels good.
The first Tuesday of every month, to me, is a very special time because I have Malcolm Reed in your spot an hour earlier, who's I think 1.3, maybe 1.4 million subscribers on YouTube.
But growing really nicely.
Yes, a steady, organic, quality growth. And then we have Sam the Cooking Guy, who is rapidly approaching 3 million. I mean, it's got to be two of... Now, look, I mean, we could certainly pick nits here and decide how we want to go find who's got more subscribers than you two. But in the realm of cooking, I don't know if there are a lot of other cooking shows that are decent, not some hack BS, with some hot chick that's half naked that gets a lot of pervy dudes.
Pervy dudes. Yeah. There's some very significantly
Hey, Len, forget it. Are you available? Len, are you available? Oh, no. There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
I just grabbed my mic. It's upside down. It doesn't matter. I don't
First
need to
time
go
on the
into
show,
whole thing.
I know.
But here's the point. The point is there are lots of great cooking YouTube channels out there.
Yeah.
I have mad respect for many of them. And there's even little guys that I have a lot of respect for. It doesn't matter how many people you have. It really is. Let me put it this way. It's not the size. It's what you do with it. You understand that comment?
I mean, I don't.
We all understand that comment.
I don't specifically, of course, but not size has never been my thing.
Yeah, I got you. But sorry. Okay. But the point is, you do what you do. A lot of people do it because they love it, and that's why they should do it. I do what I do because I really like it. If I didn't, I would find another career. I've done that before. To the age of 41 before I finally figured my shit out. And I feel fortunate that I did. I know a lot of people, Greg. I'm sure you know a lot of people your age, younger, older, that do something that they can't stand because they found themselves in some kind of groove. I won't say rut because rut sounds bad, but they found themselves in a little groove that it's hard to get out of.
Yeah.
You know, look, I'm in the food business. I'm in the restaurant business here in San Diego. There's a lot of people in the restaurant business that get into it because they don't really know what to do. They're younger and they stay with it, not necessarily because they love it, but because they like the dollars that come with it. And it's difficult at times to extract yourself from something and then say, I'm going to try and do something else that's going to make me happier. And I'm here to say, I'm not going to preach, but I'm just here to say, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is that you like what you do and that you're happy with it. That's it.
You know, I remember
I could go into a long 2-hour talk about that. I won't.
I remember there was
the important part of it.
There was a time from 20. Let's see. I'm selling trucks now. Almost. It'll be 6 years in May. So we're at 20. So like 20. Let's say 2013, 2014 to 2015 or whatever. I was working for was director of sales for this private operator, 50-passenger regional jets, charter stuff. And for the first 8 months, it was great. You know, very flashy, sounds exciting. You know, I worked at, it was based out of here in Cleveland. I was contacting we were doing a lot of work for major Division I colleges, basketball teams flying their regular schedule. So if you ever want to know why college tuition costs so much, is because the boys and the girls Division I teams, you're paying, you know, $30,000+ a clip for flying around their regular season schedules. Outstanding. Outside of that, I was also contacting NASCAR teams and casinos to do jaunts, high-level energy companies to do like oil drilling out in the Gulf of Mexico, all this great stuff.
Shit.
And then somehow one night I picked up the phone at 3 o'clock in the morning for dispatch was calling, and it was one of my trips. And that was the worst mistake I ever made, because then it was like, oh, he's the idiot that will pick up the phone at 3 o'clock in the morning. So from then on, the standard was set, and somehow I got bogged down into the operations of this position. And instead of selling, getting it right up to takeoff, and then handing it over to ops and letting them figure out what happens if the plane breaks down or if it's delayed, you know, they contact the customer. It was always getting funneled back to me. It was always after midnight. It was always a high-level team. It was always major money decisions that had to be made in minutes, and wondering if that was something that the CEO was going to agree with. Bottom line is this. I got mired down into that for 3 or 4 months, and it was easily the worst time of my life. Every relationship that I had suffered. From my wife and my kids and my friends and everybody around me. I was miserable. Every time the phone rang from work, I like convulsed. And I remember one time I was driving back home from where I was driving somewhere, and I was talking to my dad. And this is like one of the only times I can even remember this. We were talking about work, and I just spontaneously started to cry, like my eyes out, going, this is the worst. I'm trapped. I can't get out, because I was making decent money. I had nothing else to go to. I didn't have anything else lined up. You know, usually with every other job before, I had lines out. I was always looking to make the next big, but I was like, you know, that's bit me one too many times. So I'm going to like land somewhere and build roots or grow roots or whatever. And here I was, you know, 40 years old, crying like a baby, feeling trapped. And, you know, it's like, well, just quit. You know, it would be better just to quit. I'm like, well, I can't just quit. No. And I have nothing else to go to. Luckily, it turned out that I was able to get out. I got into, you know, selling trucks again. And now it's magic. You know, I've never been happier. But, oh, my God, nobody knows more than me that incredibly dark, trapped feeling that you have when you have become ingrained in an industry like you're talking about, like a restaurant, where the money's good, but the job was literally going to find me down in the basement, hung at some point if I wouldn't have left eventually. It was a nightmare.
Look, it's really common, unfortunately. There are a lot of people that find themselves in positions that they don't want to be in, but they're there and they can't find a way out. And it's easy for me to sit here now that I've sort of got it figured out for myself to say this, but the reality is, on the last day on this planet, on your last day on this planet, you're not going to remember the money. You're not going to remember the boats, that kind of stuff. You're going to remember the stuff that's in your heart. And I mean, I know, look, I swear I have fun on my show, and maybe people wouldn't expect me to say this stuff, but this comes from my heart. It really does. I tell this to as many people as I can. You need to be, life is too short, man. We don't know when our number is up. Could be today, could be 30 years from now, could be 50 years from now. But you don't want to spend it doing something that you hate. And if that means you do what you do, but you embellish it, you add to it by doing something that you love. I spoke like this once at an event, and a teacher came up to me after and said, I'm thinking about quitting and becoming an actor, and your story inspired me. I go, I hope my story didn't inspire you to quit, because that's not what I'm trying to say. She goes, but I really want to act. And I go, okay, so let's say you quit your teaching job, which, by the way, may be the most important job ever.
Sure.
We hand our children off to these people that hopefully will help mold them the right way. And the great teachers do that. But what if you can't act? Like, what if 3 months into it, you absolutely suck? Then what? Then can you just go back? No, I don't think there's that many teaching jobs you can just do that. So what if instead of just quitting, calling it a day, throwing in the towel, and trying to act, you start doing some like community theater on weekends or at nights or something? And maybe then you find out that you really can act, and it goes from there. Or maybe you find that the acting isn't really what has got you all that jazzed up, but being around it has, and maybe being a stage manager or a production person or a props person, that fulfills you enough. Keep your day job of maybe doing the most important work ever, teaching our children, but you supplement that with this part that fills your soul, your heart, whatever. And she went, I never thought about it like that. And my stupid story is that I completely threw in the towel of what I did and jumped, off a cliff into dark water in the middle of the night, not knowing how I was going to land or what I was going to land in. And I do not condone that behavior now. Now I suggest a more studied version of it. But the point remains, people are doing things that they don't like, and you can't go on like that for very long. Well, this has gotten to become a very emotional. We need some like soft piano music on a very special Barbecue Central show. Sam, the cooking guy, shares his feelings about. No, that's sex music. That's not what I'm talking about. I realize that's what you had at the ready. Let's change this up a bit and talk about.
Choripollo, everybody!
No, not that.
No.
Choripollo. No.
Let's
do
this.
Talk about. Yeah.
I think I owe you an apology. Last month, I said,
go ahead,
Cat's Deli. And you astutely corrected me as saying that it is indeed Katz's Deli. Now, I believe we had
What'd you
some
say to that?
spirited back and forth. I said, no. I believe I'm right.
No.
I think it is indeed Cat's Deli.
Right.
And why would it be Katz's? Because this guy named Katz, it's his deli, so it's Cat's Deli, blah, blah, blah. And you said, no. Katz's Deli. I said, well, I think it'd
be like calling someplace Greg Deli. You wouldn't call it Greg Deli.
But I thought, perhaps I even thought that the guy's name was Cat, and it was Cat's Deli. Let's go with that. That actually sounds almost plausible. But to prove that I was right, I said, you know what? I'm going to call Cat's Deli on the phone right now. So I called, and the answer machine picked up. It said, thank you for calling Katz's Deli. And I said, oh, shit. How am I going to figure this out?
Did you ask for an off? Did you push a button and get a live person?
Well, it was after hours.
And tell them they were saying it wrong?
So I called back the next day, and I said, hey, here's my name. Here's what I do. I'm in this quagmire with a pal of mine. And he says that the correct way to say the restaurant's name is Katz's. Is it not also correct to say Katz? And the lady said, no, it's Katz's Deli. I said, okay.
No question.
No. And,
I'm so happy.
You know,
I got one. One for me in the win column.
Yeah, one for you in the win column. Now, to repay the favor that you unknowingly gave to me, I want to point out that when you say the term Wagyu beef, as much as you don't want to hear it, the proper enunciation is indeed Wagyu. So even though you don't like
say
people
Wagyu.
to say it, you do say Wagyu.
I don't say Wagyu. I say Wagyu.
Wagyu. Yeah,
what are you saying? You're saying is Wagyu.
It's Wagyu. Now, I know this.
I don't say that is very affected. That is very.
Yeah, but you don't say Wagyu. That's how you say it properly. Now I know I'm saying Wagyu, but it's properly.
You're
Wagyu.
really reaching here.
Wagyu is the right pronunciation. You don't like that, but that's right.
No, I say Wagyu.
But that's wrong.
Wagyu. It's a George from the Star Trek.
George Takei. No, Sam, it's Wagyu.
No. All right. Can I just look? Just before I came on, you were talking about the pit barrel cooker. That.
By the way, not to interrupt, but I have
a
been
fan of. Yeah. What are you?
Feverishly eating Malcolm Reed's Fear the Reaper jerky, which is laced with Carolina Reaper pepper. And I started with his segment, and I thought my tongue was going to swell up and fall out of my head at the same time. Jeez. But somehow over the course of the show, as I've steadily been eating it, can you get like a high or a quick immunity to the heat? Because aside from like spurts here and there, I've pretty much evened out on this. And some of these pieces of beef have considerable amount of spice and pepper seeds and shit on them.
See, I like heat in food.
Uh-huh.
I don't like excessive amounts.
Yeah.
When I take a bite of something, if I have to do this, it's too much heat for me. I don't find myself enjoying the food when that has to happen. And I don't want that to happen.
Let me show you this.
So I would like a medium. Oh, it's beautiful. Look, I can see the red pepper flake in that. It's blurry as fuck. But
yeah, I'm trying to get it to correct.
Back up.
No, I got it.
So back up. It's back up. No, it's not. There you go. Wait. You got to stop moving. There you go. Yeah. Oh, no. You can see it. Look at. Holy crap.
Yeah.
That is visibly studded with heat. There you go. Don't move. Nice nails, by the way.
Thank you.
You do a good job. You ever have a manicure? Or is that your own work?
No, that's I know.
There's nothing wrong with the manicure.
I know my way
Listen,
around
Mr.
a
Barbecue
nail
Shirt
clipper.
Guy, there is nothing wrong with a manicure or a pedicure, which, by the way, is a nice thing.
That's right. All right, so we'll get to the pit barrel cooker in 1 second. Can you stand by? Of course you can. All right, we're talking with Sam, the cooking guy.
Where am I?
Stand by. I'll talk to you quickly about Pits and Spits. Since 1983, Pits and Spits, handcrafting smokers and grills in Houston, Texas. In that time, establishing itself as one of the premier brands in high-quality offset smokers and more recently pellet cookers. Pits and Spit sets itself apart by using heavy 7 to 10 gauge stainless steel in every cooker, fully welded construction you can feel when you use the unit, 304 stainless roll top lid, and front shelf on every single smoker. Why does it matter? Well, by using higher quality materials, Pits and Spit smokers reach and maintain temperatures, allowing you to worry more about the meat than the heat. By providing fully welded smokers, you don't have to worry about the grease leaking out of the barrel or smoke leaking out of the barrel, that grill rattling apart as you move it through the backyard. Now, where some companies focus on being a low-cost provider, Pits and Spits focuses on craftsmanship and using quality materials. Are there cheaper ways to do it? Yes, but they don't like tack welds, cheap stainless, or electronics that you can't trust. They have steel suppliers supplying material to be used in some of the harshest environments around, so they will perform wherever you are in this country. And their controllers are made right here in the States, so they have unimpeded transparency into the programming. Pits and Spits has a dealer network across the country, but if there isn't one close to you, you can give them a call. Call Coy at the shop, 844-650-6250. Whether you're a backyard grill master looking to cook steaks for the family or a competition team smoking 50 racks of ribs, Pits and Spits is a product for you. You can check them out online, pitsandspits.com, all spelled out, or see their pits in the wild across social media with their handle at Pits and Spits. We are back with more Sam the Cooking Guy right after this. Stick around.
Celebrating over 10 years of prolific and unparalleled live fire barbecue and grilling talk. And yes, it's still being done from Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show.
Hey, this oh boy. This portion of the show being brought to you by Smithfield. Head to smithfield.com throughout the grilling season and get recipes and tips and tricks from World Championship pitmasters like Chris Lilly and Darren Worth. You can also go to smokingwithsmithfield.com if you are part of the Committed Cooks program and report your first place finishes in pork and ribs. That's smokingwithsmithfield.com. No sooner did I say immunity to heat than I popped another piece in my mouth, and I must have gotten a part with gas because I'm like on fire.
Well,
right
how
now.
about the don't talk with your mouth full in the middle of a fucking podcast?
Yeah, but this is a part of the thing. I'm trying to encourage.
Oh, is it? You're trying to encourage people to like choke and mumble their way through their workday?
Yeah, I'm trying to encourage somebody to call in and say, hey, I will pony up $1,000 for the Malcolm Reed charity fundraiser, which I will then match $1,000. And then I will finish this bag of jerky before the end of the show. So I'm walking my way to there. So if somebody happens to call in with the proof that they donated $1,000, then I can, just quickly add the last half piece.
You have to eat it all? Is that the point? Look, you can't even see straight. Wait, does he have only one level of heat?
Oh, no, he's got plenty of other.
Oh, good Lord. This guy has to go into the Hall of Fame, please.
Yeah, he has many different levels of jerky, teriyaki, plain, barbecue flavor. He's even got bacon jerky. I don't know if you've seen the bacon jerky. Oh, no, he sent me all of them.
Yeah.
But apparently, last month, I mentioned that it would be a fun segment if he sent me a thing of Reaper jerky and that I would eat it. But it was like I said it and I wasn't even listening to myself say it. And then like 24 hours later, this package showed up at my door and he was like, own up. So I am owning up.
Okay, I need to send you the one chip challenge chips. You saw that.
Yes. And I
apparently you're primed for it.
I think watching your one chip challenge that you did with Max and Part-Time Chance.
Not Part-Time Chance.
Part-Time Chance. That
Full-Time Chance.
PTC. That it was even worse than what I'm going through right now. I'm speculating, but
honestly,
everybody seemed to have their head in a bush or over a fence.
It was the worst heat. The worst food heat experience I've ever had, and we have 5 or 6 of those packs left. Max bought like a 12-pack or something.
How much are those run?
I didn't even ask. I don't know. It's probably $50 or something.
Wow,
they're not cheap.
Yeah, I wonder.
Maybe more.
For one
I
chip.
would never suggest anybody do it because I found it absolutely freaking horrifying.
Does your tongue feel like pain?
No, it's not even your tongue. It just surpasses. It goes past your tongue. It's what happens in here. I mean, it was so bad. I can't even share how horrible it was.
Well, you can just go to the end of whatever that video that was and watch you guys Just
we put a version of it on TikTok. Yeah, it's just it's awful.
Well, this heat is living in my mouth. Like it is living 100% in my mouth, on my tongue, on the top of my mouth, on the walls of my mouth, underneath my tongue, and in my back palate, starting to make its way down my throat. But then it stops. I have no stomach heat, no chest heat or anything. It's all living right here.
Wait till the heartburn begins about 3 a.m. An hour before you wake up.
Yeah. I can't. Well, I'm going to start pounding Tums and
the cat and the heartburn is going to wake you up.
Yeah.
You'll be swearing at him.
There's no doubt. It's going to be a nightmare, but I needed to be ready just in case somebody decided to donate. Nevertheless, let's talk about
what's interesting?
Yeah, go ahead.
What's interesting is that I don't think we've talked barbecue once yet.
No, we got into.
We talk what, once or twice a week?
Yeah.
I mean, outside of the show, probably, right?
Yes.
Maybe text more.
Maybe.
We're good friends, even though we've never met.
Never.
And I will call the next day and go, I hated myself last night. Worst show ever. I won't do that again. Whatever I've done. And you inevitably go, no, God, what? I thought it was great.
Yeah.
People liked it, whatever. So I worry that the Barbecue Central, emphasis on barbecue central viewers and listeners that tune in for informative barbecue chat get bored when we don't talk freaking barbecue.
Yeah, but we don't have to talk barbecue all the time. And the other thing is this. I think there's a couple different interesting facets going along.
Honestly, I'm very insecure about stuff like this. And it's not that I want to be liked. Well, I do want to be liked. But I want people that watch and listen to get what they came for. And I worry that this nonsense doesn't help them.
Yes. Well, I don't think it's nonsense. B, I think we are allowing the audience to gain an appreciation and a knowledge
go to the
outside
kitchen
of the
and make
normal.
a hamburger while we're doing this?
Yeah. Well, no, but I mean, so people can watch you. I mean, everybody watches you do your food thing. They can watch you make. But how many have heard you talk about, the passion project or how you made the leap into the dark hole? But I'm not. But you're not advocating that. Like, our buddy Sean Walchef is a huge proponent of jump off the cliff. Look, I tell Sean, fuck off with that. It's the worst advice you can give. I mean, unless you were like me at the airplane job, and it was like you were considering jumping off a cliff anyway. So why not?
Yeah. No,
I'm like, maybe work two different angles. Maybe get a side hustle and see, or
that's what I'm proposing.
Get a passion project. See if you can monetize it. And love it after you monetize it, because that's a whole thing that changes, right?
Okay.
I mean, If I always say, if I decided to make the Barbecue Central show my main job, this show would change, terribly change, because now it would be my sole source of income. I would have to treat it in a completely different way than I do now. Now, a lot of people would sit here and say, hey, you're very professional. You spend 12 to 16 hours a week preparing, you're booking, you have control over everything in the show, but there's nothing not professional about this. I get all that. But when it's
other
also
than you're eating beef jerky that's
but even that's part of the show. That's right.
And choking and coughing and go ahead.
But now it's a mainstay of successful life. Well, that's a pressure that I never wanted to have associated with this.
No, I hear you.
Could I have gotten fame out of this? Well, maybe if it came along. Could I have made some extra cash along the way through sponsorship? I've done that. But I've never wanted to sit here and to be the guy that says, I started it this way, and at the end, I turned it into my full-time job. Fuck it. I like it. I like
what you're saying.
I
want to make sure. I want to make sure that people that watch and listen are like, we dig this. They get a lot. Look, there's no question they get solid barbecue talk.
Yes.
No question. I just want to make sure that when I digress, that they're okay with that. That's all I'm at. That's all I'm saying.
Here you go. Comment coming in from none other than Guy the Cooking Sam. None of us expect Greg and Sam to talk about anything constructive ever. There you go.
That's all I needed to hear.
What can you hear?
All right. You know what? That makes me feel good.
There you go. So, and again, I think people are getting another angle and get to know us in a different way when we have these kind of conversations. So let's go ahead and immediately say enough of that, and let's take a few minutes to talk in depth about a regional speciality from an area of the country where lakes are endless. It is indeed a land of 10,000 lakes, that being Minnesota, but specifically...
You think somebody actually counted that?
I mean, I guess. Otherwise, why would you say that?
Because isn't that on their license plate?
Yes. Land of 10,000 lakes. I saw it driving Bobby to school.
You see people going, all right, it's time for the new license plate, everybody. Any ideas in the room? Judy, you got anything? No. Alan? No. Neil, what do you got? How about this? Land of 10,000 lakes. Is there really 10,000 lakes? Who's done that study on that? No one's going to count, said Alan. Just fucking put it on. It looks good.
Land of 10,000 lakes.
I would go to a state that had 10,000 lakes.
Who wouldn't?
Yes. So keep
Fishing
going.
abound. So anyway, so Minnesota, but specifically Minneapolis, there's something called the Juicy Lucy, which you recently made on the YouTube channel. So what inspired you or who left a comment, or where does the genesis of Juicy Lucy come for you to give the Sam the Cooking Guy hand?
We say all the time at the often at the end of the episodes, if there's something that you want us to make, let us know. And we get it all the time. People say, just this. A lot of the things we made something called the Teesside Parmo from Teesside, England.
Yeah. Wasn't it like one of your most heavily viewed videos ever?
Absolutely. Think of it as a giant shallow fried chicken cutlet, but then with a bechamel sauce over the top that you put into the oven. It sounds like a heart attack, and it may be, honestly, one of the best things I've ever eaten. It was so freaking delicious. We added bacon to it to make it worse or better, however you want to look at that. But so we've been getting this Juicy Lucy comment for quite some time now.
Same person or just random different people leaving it?
No. Many different people.
All right.
Many different people.
So what's your thought when you finally make the jump over to making it, and you see what it's all about? What do you want to change about it? What do you want to keep the same about it? Or I guess the better question is this: when you're working with whether it's a traditional regional specialty or a staple dish.
I don't think you want to jack up a regional specialty too much, even though we did mess with the Teesside Parmo a little bit. But for us, it's a cheeseburger, but inside out.
Yeah.
It's really all it is. Instead of putting cheese on top of the burger as it's cooking, you take it, you cut it, you fold it up into smaller pieces, and you put it in between two thin-ish quarter-pound patties. And this thing is freaking delicious.
Are you
and the picture of it is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's like oozing cheese.
Until I show my wife.
Not a fan?
Wait, let me hold on. Hold on, stand by. Let me just show you this one picture. My wife. My absolute polar opposite when it comes to food.
Bless her. Wowee. Look at that, just oozing out.
What do I need to do that?
Nothing, you're fine. We can see it right there.
No, it's all fully blown out. I don't know how to make it look good on here. You could pull it up, but don't bother. No, don't do that.
All right.
I can see you're not going to anyway. I showed it to her. She went like this. I go, look at this. Look at that. Look at this. Here's what she said. She looked and she went, ugh. I go, ugh? How does this get an ugh? She goes, well, It's gross. It's all dripping and melting. And I go, that's the thing. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
If you eat something called, what's Malcolm's stuff called? Killer heat. What is it?
Fear the Reaper.
Insane heat. Fear of the Reaper. You know it's going to be hot. You eat something called a Juicy Lucy, it's going to be freaking juicy.
Yeah.
She just can't get her head around it. It was really good. Really good. We cooked it. Fortunately, I cooked it the right way. Didn't overcook it. And I've become a fan of soy sauce in many things. But in this, because I didn't want the wet, there it is. Because I didn't want it to moisten too much, I used my new favorite thing called soy paste. That is a thick version of soy sauce that just adds an umami-like substance to the whole thing that just amps up the flavor. Damn it, it was really good. It was really good.
Were you worried that you weren't going to get the inside done enough ever?
Greg, I worry about everything I cook. Every time I cut something open. And Max, if you had a conversation with Max would tell you, every time I make a steak, every time I make a burger, every time I make anything and I go to cut it open, I worry that I've completely effed it up.
And then what? Would you show it?
But yeah, sure. Yeah. What am I going to do?
I don't know. So, would you not?
This is not Rachel Ray. I don't know if I told you this. I met a guy once that used to be I can't remember the term, a backup cook for Rachel Ray's show, 30-Minute Meals.
All right.
As she was making enchiladas on camera, he was replicating every single move exactly like her as she did it in the back. Because God forbid she put the enchiladas in the pan and then walked to the oven and tripped and dropped them all. He would bring out a pan that looked exactly like what she had and would continue along.
What a job.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, that's, she's probably shooting 4, 5, 6. I have no idea how many shows a day.
Right.
We do one. And we're very casual about what we do. But if something went wrong, if she cut the chicken the wrong way and went, shit, I did this wrong, she could just go, I don't know what the guy's name, Alan,
Kevin.
And he would bring out the piece exactly like she just had.
Huh.
But for us, we make 1 or 2. That's it.
Yeah.
So if I F one up, then I F one up, and then I have to deal with it. And then, fortunately, it doesn't happen very often.
For burgers, I'm debating whether or not I want to say this to you. Everybody else knows about it, but I'm a huge believer. In fact, I just bought 24 of them at BJ's Wholesale Club this afternoon. Bubba Burgers. I don't know if you're familiar with Bubba Burgers.
No, we've talked about this.
All right.
No, I'm fine with that.
So I know exactly where to put the Weber gas grill on temperature. I know that I cook them 4 minutes on this side, 4 minutes on next side.
Yeah.
Cheese down for 30 seconds. They come off. They're the same each and every time. Little bit of color on the inside, mega juicy, blah, blah, blah. With the Juicy Lucy, I would imagine it would be, so I don't have to temp them. I guess that's the long way of saying it. But you wouldn't want to pierce a Juicy Lucy to take temp because that cheese is going to spill out no matter where your hole is.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Right. That's the problem. And you've got 2 thin patties on top. So are you going to take your, the digital instant read thermometer and get it right in the patty? Or if it goes a little bit askew, are you going to hit the cheese? And who knows what the F melty cheese temperature is supposed to be, and will that replicate? Right? Who knows? But this is cooking. This is grilling. It's barbecuing. It's smoking. That's what this world is. Anybody that's ever made a brisket on a smoker the first time, I'm trying to bring it back to pull back in your smoking people. They probably effed it up. I say to anybody that has they go, I just got a new smoker. I don't know what to do. I go, I know what to do. Do a pork butt.
Yes. Easy.
Pork shoulder. Same thing. Then I have to spend 10 minutes explaining why it's the same thing, but it sounds like 2 very different parts. It's the same thing. But I go, it is is literally the most forgiving piece of meat protein you will ever put on your smoker.
Right.
You can't F it up. But a brisket is a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
The last brisket I did was about an 11 out of 10. I hit every high note I wanted to hit. But that's what cooking is. It's trying it, it's failing, but that's life, isn't it?
Yes.
I said this, put this in quote form at the beginning of my third cookbook. Just grill this.
Yes.
Cooking is like riding a bike. The more you do it, the better you get.
Right.
The reality is everything is like riding a bike. You're a better truck salesman today than you were 5 years ago.
Undoubtedly.
A doctor is better today than he was when he started. A lawyer is better. A janitor in a school, a bus driver is better. A line cook is better today than they were when they started. That's what it is. Here's the point. Just get the fuck out there. Take a protein, put it on, and start playing with it.
Yeah. Do you think we've become so reliant these days on either needing somebody's validation or this like bias, this confirmation bias? Like they're armed. They watch you all the time. They know they bought all your knives. They know the processes and the methods.
Yeah.
And then they still feel compelled to message you or write you an email or leave a comment saying, am I going to do this right? Am I going to F this up? Instead of just making as we were just talking about Sean telling people to take a leap from a career path standpoint, just jump off the cliff. In cooking, it's different.
Yeah.
Jump off the cliff. And the bottom line is even the worst fails will probably leave you with something edible, and then you can learn and not do that the next time.
That's just it. But the only way, I say to people all the time, they go, I can't cook a steak. I go, okay, look, watch my stuff. Whether you do reverse sear in an oven, whether you do sous vide, which I'm not a fan of for steak. We've talked about this. I know you are. I'm not really. Whether you do the thing on the grill where I turn it like every minute, just keep it going.
Flipping.
Yeah. I go, look, when you walk into the supermarket, wherever you buy your meat, and you see sale, those big 4 red letters, SALE, on whatever kind of favorite steak you have. I go, buy 3 or 4 of them. Whether you freeze some or not, that's the time that you should be experimenting and learning outside. It really is. You're not going to get better until you start trying stuff. And that's what this is all about. But it's fun, and this is the stuff that keeps you on the edge. And I mean, come on, we got to get out there. You don't get better at anything until you challenge yourself.
Right.
Fucking Malcolm shit is killing you, bro.
That's something.
I fully expect by the end of this show, you just to be laying on top of your console there.
Something just like a secret attacked. Something secret attacked me. That was
By the way,
unexpected.
We all heard it.
Yeah. Well, yes, of course, because it was like a sniper attack. I mean, who knows? All right, let me ask you
I'm
one.
getting emotional. I'm trying to encourage people to get out there, cook something that they haven't made before, and just start. That's the thing.
Now, here's something crazy. I'm not sure exactly how I missed it on the YouTube feed. What? Close the show with this. Potato chip, mashed potato.
Oh, best thing ever.
What?
So I'm going through my cabinet, my pantry the other day.
Yes.
And by the way, good tip for everybody. Go through your pantry, because I'm pretty certain you've got shit in there that expired in 2017, 2016, 2015.
Undoubtedly.
No question. I saw stuff in there that shouldn't have even been in there. Shouldn't have been close to any other food.
It was never released to the general public.
Exactly. And what do I see? I see a pack of instant powdered mashed potatoes.
Oh, my favorite.
That I don't use, but you can use it to like crust something, right?
Or
use
eat
it
them
like
as mashed
instead
potatoes.
of panko crumbs. Oh yes, but no, I like to make mashed potatoes. I think my mashed potatoes are really good. I like making. I like to cook. I like making mashed potatoes.
Okay? Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Ask that question.
No.
Isn't the word?
We can do it a different time. We can do it a different way.
All right. So I look at this pack and I'm like, oh, I guess it probably needs to be thrown out. And then I'm looking at it and I go, it's just like dried mashed potatoes. that you just reconstitute. Isn't that like somehow my mind made this weird jump? I go, isn't that like sort of like potato chips? I went, oh my God, I'm going to try this. I took some boiling water and I put potato chips in. And I started to mash them down. And it was too watery, so I added more mashed potatoes. I now have the perfect amount.
You added more potato.
One cup of more potato chips.
All right.
1 cup of boiling water to 3 ounces of potato chips. And whether they're barbecue, sour cream and onion, plain, doesn't matter.
So
I
now
submerged them.
let me just clarify.
Go ahead.
Rippled potato chips are okay? Like Ruffles with ridges?
Look, I didn't do them because in my mind, they'd make it too chunky.
All right.
So I went with regular potato.
Regular Lay's yellow bag?
Yeah, exactly.
Now,
first one I did, Lay's, 3 ounces of Lay's yellow bag.
What about kettle
8
cooked?
ounces. No, I don't. What is that? No, not
like
kettle
Cape
chips.
Cods.
No kettle chips.
Oh, those are delicious.
No kettle chips.
Why not? They could be so hearty.
They could be. I didn't do it. Please, can it just be what I did?
Yes.
Fuck. You're so difficult. I want to talk to your wife tomorrow.
People in Cleveland like a hearty mashed potato.
I'm pretty certain your wife and I are going to commiserate over the same things about you. Anyway,
I bet.
3 ounces of potato chips, plain.
Yes.
No
Lay's.
ruffles, no ridges.
Yes.
In 8 ounces of boiling water. And you squish them down. You break them up with a big good spoon.
All right.
And when it starts to get a little bit like gummy, you know what I mean by that?
Yes.
Sticky, right? Like a roux, like a thick roux.
Right.
Then you put in a quarter cup of half and half.
Oh.
And you mix.
All right.
Don't need to salt them because they're
Potato
already
chips.
salted.
Right.
Yeah. I'm telling you. Doug Scheiding, your boy.
Yeah.
One of your boys.
Your friend.
Not my boy.
He called me
Well,
from a
he's
tornado
friend.
earlier.
Of course he did. From Texas. Who knows what's going on down there?
I know what's going
And
on
by
down
the
there.
way, oh yeah, no masks, nothing. It's life is normal. Good luck. Can't wait to see those hospital rates go up.
Have a good time down in Texas, everybody.
Doesn't matter. Anyway, Scheiding called me. He goes, I'm going to do this for my wife, and I'm not going to tell her. I go, that's the move, buddy.
Whoa.
Don't say you're making them out of potato chips.
Isn't that
Just
like saying
make
you're
them-
going to go
No.
put on a condom and you don't?
No,
Are
because
you
there's
sure?
no risks involved.
What?
Yes.
All right.
There's no risks involved. The point is
Debatable.
this. It's very simple. The point is this. They're going to be a little lumpier a bit than regular mashed potatoes. But you're going to do this. You're going to go, oh, shit, that's good. Sour cream and onion.
Salt and
Delicious.
vinegar?
Didn't do that.
Oh, I bet that would be so
I did
boss.
regular. I did sour cream and onion. I did barbecue.
Yeah.
I did dill pickle.
Ooh,
do
I bet
another
that
one.
would be so good. Was that
Dill
which
pickle's
one was the
pretty
best?
good,
Regular Lay's were the best. Hard to beat.
I really like the barbecue and the sour cream and onion.
Oh, I hate barbecue potato chips.
But the point is, once they're done, then you can, little cracked pepper on top, some chives, whatever you want.
A little bit of Evie olive oil for richness.
That's
Yes?
exactly what I did. Dress them up a bit. They were great. They were great.
Wow. And that is, let me pay you a compliment. This is the difference between me and you. I literally went through the pantry this weekend. And I just threw out a whole bunch of shit that I knew. Like I started the week before, I kept tracking to see if anything moved. I was earmarking death for a whole bunch of items. And then I went back this past weekend.
Those poor items.
They didn't move. Boom, 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 just throw everything out. Here you are. You picked up this packet of instant potatoes, which, by the way, I threw out an old box of instant potatoes. Mine hit the trash bag, and you saw it and went, somehow, potato chips. And then you went to the stove and got potato. You worked out a whole recipe. And then you're shooting video and you got 1 million views on it. I'm just throwing out instant potatoes because I don't have that built-in creative gene
No,
that you
I don't know.
and,
It's a stupid gene. It's
yes,
a
but
stupid gene.
all you
that
people
I,
have it. Like you're the guy that goes in the grocery store and sees this ingredient on the shelf, and then looks catty corner to the other shelf and goes, "Oh, I bet that'll go good with that." Then you go to the next aisle and say, "Oh, and this will be another thing. I wonder how this could add to." I look at it and go, "Okay, here's the list of items I need, and I better get all of this in order to follow Sam's recipe correctly." That's what irks me the most.
Can I tell you the bet? Look, I used to be. I know we need to end. Let me just say this. I used to be the most rigid following recipe guy ever.
Yes,
somebody could give me a recipe for some kind of chicken dish. It could be 150 ingredients. If the last ingredient was a 1/16 of a teaspoon of chili powder, and I didn't have that chili powder, I wouldn't make the recipe. Now I don't give a shit about any of that stuff. Now I go, great, leave that out, forget it, I can substitute this, whatever. The best version of this is the Captain Crunch Sear Tuna that we did that's on my website that we've done a video for. Two completely disparate things that should not go together, but do because of some mental little quirk in my head.
Said, hey, this has got to work.
This has got to work, and it works in the best way possible.
I go to the store because I have recipes that I want to try, and I buy all of. Now I'm not as anal as you. Like if I don't have one or two things, then I'll just forego.
Well, I'm not that way
Especially
anymore. That's my point. I'm not like that anymore.
I'm not like that, but I will also follow a recipe per step the first one or two times just to see if I can replicate it. Also, I have my entire grocery store memorized by aisle. I'm sure you probably do too. My wife, however, will get a recipe, and this is what happens. Oh, this is the recipe? All right. Now, here we're going to go ahead and we're going to do something completely merely a suggestion, and we'll just start rifling stuff, adding stuff in.
I don't want to repeat myself, but I feel like I've said this before. I got an email from a guy once who goes, I meant to make your chicken enchiladas. I didn't have any chicken, but I had some leftover mushrooms. I didn't have any tortillas, but I had some pumpernickel bread. I didn't have this sauce, so I used this. By the time he finished describing what he had, it bore absolutely no resemblance to the recipe, to anything I'd ever made ever. And he goes, but I just want to thank you for encouraging me to get into the kitchen and make something.
Yes.
And that's what this is about. That's what cooking is. And I try to espouse that as often as I can on the show to make people feel like it's okay just to get in there and fuck around.
Yeah.
That's it. That should be the name of my next cookbook. It's not, but it should be just get in there and fuck around.
All right. Well, Sam, once again, you have said it all. You have told us we should get into the kitchen and fuck around immediately, if not sooner. You can find Sam right here on the first Tuesday of every month as we begin quarter number 2. I hope it's as feverish as quarter 1 ended up being here in 2021. And we need to set up a time to do the 12-year recap, or the 12-month recap of the pandemic bonus content episodes that we did in the end of March last year and see where we're at. So we are there, believe it or not, a year ago. So we'll do that.
That's unbelievable.
Yes, a year.
Does it feel like a year since the pandemic, or does it feel like
it both feels like a year, and it feels in some regards like 10 years, and then it also feels like it was maybe 6 months. So it really just depends on what side of the
By the way,
angle.
San Diego goes into what is considered here the orange tier tomorrow, which means that restaurants, I don't really care about restaurants, can now have 50%. We're in purple right now. We can have 25% people in, counting staff. Tomorrow we go to 50%, and the governor of California, that nobody really likes right now, said he believes by, I think he said June 12th, he thinks we'll be back to normal.
Full open June 12th. Wow. Let's mark it down on the calendar.
What shidings people have done in Texas because they don't give a shit.
And Florida has been wide open for months.
Florida, please.
Yeah. So
don't start me with
We'll
Florida.
see. All right. Sam the Cooking Guy is right here the first Tuesday of every month. In the meantime, you can find him 3 times a week on his YouTube channel. Subscribe if you are not already. Sam, always appreciate the time, and we will look for you again next month.
Thank you, Greg. Yep. See you guys.
There he is, Sam the Cooking Guy, right there. Subscribe if you're not already subscribing. Somebody put jalapeno kettle-cooked chips. I'm going to try all of that. Tomorrow, I'm going to have 7 different kinds of potato chip mashed potatoes. Let me talk to you quickly about the good folks over at Certified Angus Beef brand launching their restaurant challenge. It's hashtag restaurant challenge. Here's what you do. Grab takeout, dine in safely if that's an option, or purchase gift cards from your favorite restaurant. You can also grab takeout. Share a favorite restaurant moment on social media using the hashtag restaurant challenge and enter a chance to win. 10 social media users will be randomly selected each week to win a $100 gift card to dine out with, as long as you hashtag the restaurant challenge. Now, be sure to tag your favorite restaurant in the post where you got the food. You can enter them to win as well. 2 restaurants each week will be randomly selected to get $2,500 in direct support for their staff. Real easy to do. You like a restaurant? Go eat in. Go grab the takeout, grab some of their gift cards, then take pictures of your stuff, tag the restaurant when you're in there, use hashtag restaurant challenge. Using the hashtag gets you the opportunity of winning one of 10 weekly $100 gift card giveaways from Certified Angus Beef. And if you tag the restaurant that you got the food in, they are also entered in to win 2 weekly gift cards of $2,500 for direct support staff. Check out the website at challenge.certifiedangusbeef.com. That's challenge.certifiedangusbeef.com. It's the restaurant challenge for a few more weeks, and it could be extended. All right, we're back to wrap the show. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Whole packers, full racks, legs and thighs, injecting butts. If you've never heard this before, you might think you found the best XXX show ever. Let's get back to the most homoerotic host out there today, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show brought to you by Vortic Watches, a small batch custom watch manufacturing and vintage restoration company located in northern Colorado. They take antique American pocket watches and turn them into wristwatches. Their mission? Preserve and enhance the legacy of manufacturing excellence in America. In order to do that, they combine traditional and cutting-edge technology to create unique, quality, functional timepieces with exceptional value. Here's the coolest part. Each watch that Vortic makes is a unique, one-of-a-kind timepiece. Vortic, founded on the motto that America wasn't assembled, it was built. Check out VorticWatches.com. The watch that was for sale today lasted a whopping total of 4 minutes before it sold. 4 minutes. It was sharp, nice blue band, blue hands. Man, oh man, it was a pretty one. Illinois watch. I think the movement was made in 1917. So that's an old watch right there. That's a piece of history. So you got to be on their mailing list. They're doing a watch a day. It's noon Mountain Time. But people are just geeked and ready to buy. So VorticWatches.com. Let's go ahead and wrap it up all the way back in the first hour. Malcolm Reed joined me to start. We did the Reaper Challenge. And I made it through a couple pieces. Almost through the whole bag, actually. By the end of the show right here. After Malcolm, we attempted Len Aberman, but we did not connect with Len Aberman, so the first hour in podcast might be a little bit shorter than usual. Second hour, Sam the Cooking Guy, in his usual second hour of the first Tuesday of the month. Guest spots. CookingGuy.com, his website. Big show planned for you next week. We have Meathead from AmazingRibs.com. We'll try and reload Len Aberman and many others as well. Until next Tuesday, September 11th, 2001. I will never forget. Until next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, this is your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe. Good night now.
This is Jennifer Palamas from Charlotte, North Carolina, and this is Barbecue Central.